What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a new video. As you guys know, yesterday we had a new update and we got new enchantments. But the enchantment I want to focus on today is going to be Blood Reckoning. Because I'm going to be honest, I think that enchantment right now is the best way to make money in the game. But of course, I can't just say that, I have to prove it, and I'm going to do it today. And pretty much what I'm going to do a fishy rod comparison. Because I really think the Blood Reckoning enchantment could beat any fishy rod in the game in terms of money. And that's why today I'm going to find a fishy rod that could beat the Ethereal Prism rod with the Blessed Song enchantment. And it has to be a fishy rod with no passive mutations, so I'm thinking probably the Rod of the Forgotten Fang. Every single time you catch a fish, you're going to be getting the Blood Reckoning enchantment. And of course, with the Rod of the Forgotten Fang, you have that passive that gives you a duplicate fish every 3 perfect catches. And with that passive, we're going to be able to make even more money. And before even testing it out, I think the Rod of the Forgotten Fang with the Blood Reckoning enchantment is going to make more money. Because with the Prisma mutation, it multiplies your fish value by 8 times. However, there's only a 50% chance this fish is going to get that mutation. But on the other hand, with the Sanguine mutation, it's going to happen every single time you catch a fish. And that mutation also multiplies your money by 8 times as well. But also keep in mind the best fishy rod in C1 has to be the Ethereal Prism rod. And also when it comes to stats, it has way better stats than the Rod of the Forgotten Fang in every single category. And to make that fishy rod even better, we have the Blessed Song enchantment, which is going to help you catch fish so much faster. And also keep in mind this fishy rod does cost $15 million. So you're probably like, no way it loses. On the other hand, with the Rod of the Forgotten Fang, you could get it at level 750. But you know what? Just trust me on this one. For the first place I'm gonna go to is gonna be the Volcanic vents. And to be honest, when it comes to bait, I wasn't really sure which bait I was gonna use. Because if I use truffle worms, it is a preferred bait for the Magma Leviathan and the legendary fish at that bestiary. But on the other hand, I have to use fish head to catch a mythical fish, and I think that one is more important. The reason I think it's more important because it's more consistent money. So that's why in the end, for both fishy rods, I decided to use weird algae instead. With weird algae, we're gonna have 200% universal luck, and on top of that, we're gonna be fishing during the daytime. And if you guys know about the daytime, you make so much more money at the Volcanic vents. Now with the Rod of the Forgotten Fang and the Blood Reckoning enchantment, I made $4.18 million an hour. And yeah, $4.18 million an hour with the regular enchantment is kind of crazy to say. And also keep in mind, the Rod of the Forgotten Fang has way lower luck compared to Ethereal Prism rod. So at most, maybe I'll get one Magma Leviathan every other hour. It was kind of rare for me to see that fish. But since I was fishing during the day, I was getting so many mythical fishes. But now for the next fishy rod, the Ethereal Prism rod, I'm gonna be honest, you're gonna be surprised. On average with that fishy rod, I made $4.02 million an hour. And for me, every single hour, I was making more money with the Rod of the Forgotten Fang. I'm not really sure how, but that's what I was getting. And to be honest, I kind of expected it to be very close, or at least a little bit lower than the Ethereal Prism rod. And also on my screen, I know you see the ×6 server luck boost. I tested it with and without that server luck. And I'm just saying the Rod of the Forgotten Fang was making way more money. But also keep in mind with the Blood Reckoning enchantment, you lose health every time you catch a fish. And I'm telling you right now, if you step in the lava and catch a fish, you might get wasted instantly. So just make sure you're stepping correctly and not stepping on the lava, because you could get sent back to your spawn point. Oh yeah, that's right, before I forget, I was also catching every single fish I saw. But if you want to make a little bit more money, you could drop every single common fish and get the perfect catch on the mythical fish every single time. If you do that, you're gonna make way more money. But also, once again, keep in mind, you're gonna lose health really fast if you do that, so just be careful. I'm gonna be honest, the Volcanic event is my favorite spot to make money in the game right now. But you know what? I was like, maybe the Rod of the Forgotten Fang just got lucky. We gotta try another place. So the next place I went to was the Veil of the Forsaken, because at that location, you could make really good money. And also, when a fish has a high progress speed, it helps you recover your health fast when using the Blood Reckoning enchantment. But of course, to make all that money, we have to catch a mythical fish, because I'm pretty sure that mythical fish sells between $5,000 to $8,000. So if we get either mutation on it, we're gonna make so much more money. Now for the bait that I use, I did use truffle worms the entire time, because the mythical and legendary fish do prefer that bait, so I'm just gonna use it. But for the first fish rod I'm gonna use was the Rod of the Forgotten Fang with the Blood Reckoning enchantment. And to be honest, the amount of money we made, I thought I was gonna make a little bit less, but it was pretty good money. On average, at the Veil of the Forsaken with the Rod of the Forgotten Fang, we made $3.17 million an hour. And also for this test, I did not have the ×6 server luck boost because it disappeared by then. So I'm pretty sure with that boost, we definitely could have made like $4 to $5 million easily. Like I said before, I like fishing here because you make a lot of money, and also these fish have negative progress speed. And because of that, you have enough time to recover all the health you lost when using this enchantment. But yeah, $3.17 million an hour, it's a really good spot. But now for the next fishy rod, it's gonna be the Ethereal Prism rod with the Blessed Song enchantment. And to be honest, you hear Blessed Song enchantment, you're like, yeah, you're gonna make way more money. But you're gonna be surprised how much money I made with this fishy fishing rod, it even shocked me. On average, with the ethereal prism rod at the Veil of the Forsaken, I made $2.26 million an hour. And yeah, you heard that correctly, $2.26 million. And yeah, that is so crazy, almost $1 million less per hour. It's just a fact, every time you catch a fish, you get that mutation and it multiplies your money by 8 times the value. And also the one thing I noticed with the ethereal prism rod, I wasn't getting the mutation that often. I'm kind of surprised. Like I said before, on the wiki, it said 50% chance every time you catch a fish. But for some reason, without the server lag boost, I was barely getting that mutation. I was so confused. And yeah, with the Rod of the Forgotten Fang, I was just making more money in general. And to get the Rod of the Forgotten Fang, it is way easier than getting the ethereal prism rod, because that fishing rod does cost $15 million and you have to complete the Veil of the Forsaken bestiary as well. On the other hand, with the Rod of the Forgotten Fang, all you need is level 750, Meg's Fang, Meg's Spine, and 1 lunar thread. To get the Meg's Fang and Meg's Spine, it's really fast actually to get. The only problem could be the lunar thread, but nowadays you can get it pretty easily. And also to get that fishing rod, you do have to pay $300,000, so it is way cheaper. I guess the only problem is to get level 750, which you could get eventually. But I mean, if you don't have the Rod of the Forgotten Fang, you could use another fishing rod. I would use it on the fishing rod that does not have a mutation passive on it. Wait, now that I think about it, you could make a lot of money using the King's fishing rod, because with the King's fishing rod, it makes fish 30% larger. And if the fish is larger and gets that mutation, you're gonna make so much more money. Like for example, if you go to the Veil of the Forsaken and take the King's fishing rod, every time you catch a fish, you could make a lot of money. Like if I were to guess, maybe $80,000 to $90,000 every time you catch a fish. And to get the King's rod is really cheap. It only costs $100,000. It does have a luck speed of 25% and luck of 85%, which is actually really low. But if you have Merlin's luck and prefer bait, it doesn't really matter. The control bar is a 0.15, but the resilience is 35%, which is actually really good. And it does have infinite weight, so there's that for it. But to be honest, if you think you're gonna struggle with that fishing rod, you could use deep coral instead, or coral bait. Either one works. But I'm pretty sure to make the most amount of money, you have to use truffle worms. You really want to get that mythical fish every single time. I mean, regardless what bestiary you fish at, you want to get that mythical fish to make the most amount of money. I mean, to be honest, if you want to, you could use any fishing rod with the Blood Reckoning enchantment. It doesn't really matter. Either way, you're gonna make a lot of money. I just think with the Rod of the Forgotten Fang, you're gonna make way more money. But you know what? Put it on any fishing rod you're using, you're still gonna make a lot of money. Hey, if you want, you could put it on the Rod of the Depths. That'd be a pretty cool combination to use. You know what? Comment down below which fishing rod you're gonna use with it, because I really want to know. Also, don't forget to buy Merlin's Luck, because it could help you make a little bit more money. And I mean, come on, it's really cheap. You get 30% extra luck, so it could help you in the long run. So yeah, don't forget to use it at all times. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for today. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.